Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of 1998 Represent. Today, we're taking a look at the 1998 film Wild Things. One of my favorite movies from that year. I think just maybe one of my overall just favorite movies. I absolutely love this movie. Just a quick warning: we will begin getting into spoilers for this movie. So if you haven't seen Wild Things, I would recommend go watch Wild Things and then come back once you've watched it. There's two versions of the movie. I'll be talking about both of them. There is just a theatrical version of the movie, and then they did an unrated director's cut. The director's cut, I believe, is superior to the theatrical cut. It adds a lot of scenes that make the plot make more sense and make certain motivations more viable, more justifiable, I guess I should say. So I remember seeing this back in 1998, and then a couple years later, I picked it up on DVD. I actually owned this movie 3 times. So the first one I have here, this is the 1998 theatrical version of this. I picked this up about a couple years later in 2000 after I got a DVD player. It features, let's see here, languages: English 2 channel and 5.8 with Dolby Digital, and French, English and French subtitles, trailers, scene selections. Extra features include deleted scenes and director's commentary. Commentary on this is actually pretty interesting. And then the deleted scenes, some of the deleted scenes that are in the director's cut are what's in this deleted scenes section. This is just those scenes kind of out of context. The director's cut actually puts them back into the film. And then it has full screen and widescreen formats. Why you would want to watch it in full screen is beyond me. I don't know. That was kind of the thing back when DVD was somewhat new. You would get, like your widescreen, and then you would get your kind of pan and scan full screen experience as well. I also own it again on DVD. This is the director's cut here. This one doesn't really add any extra features. It just is basically, it's the movie, and that's basically all it is. And then finally, I have it on the unrated Blu-ray as well. There is a 4K version out now, I guess, a limited edition that it's basically they remastered it in 4K. I guess they did, the director and producer did a new commentary for it. There's a few extra features. I unfortunately don't have a way to play 4K movies, so I kind of want it, but then I also don't have any really way to play it. But that's beside the point. So we're going to talk about the film first here. Let me check my notes. First released March 20th, 1998. And we're going to get into the basic plot points of this movie. So again, this is where if you haven't seen the movie, highly recommend that you go watch the movie and then come back. So it's set in the town of Blue Bay in basically the suburb of Miami. I don't know if it's a real suburb, but it's basically, they filmed this all over southern Miami, or southern Florida. Very funny thing, this is unrelated to this movie, but this movie stars, again, Kevin Bacon, Matt Dillon, Nev Campbell, Denise Richards, and so on. This is one of 2 movies released in 1998 starring Matt Dillon that was set in Miami. So There's Something About Mary is also set in Miami. It's just kind of like an interesting coincidence that these 2 movies were released in the same year, and Matt Dillon is playing a character that is working in Miami. He's kind of a scummy character in each of them too, if that matters. So it's set in Blue Bay. There is a guidance counselor, a high school guidance counselor, Sam Lombardo, played by Matt Dillon. And then there is, we have Susie Toller, played by Nev Campbell, and Kelly Van Ryan, played by Denise Richards. And you have Ray Duquette, played by Kevin Bacon. Kevin Bacon is a police officer. He's partnered up with Daphne Rubin Vega, who I don't think does a lot of film. She mostly does Broadway plays. And it was interesting because when I saw In the Heights a couple years ago, she was in that, and I immediately recognized her because she's Kevin Bacon's. They're both detectives, and she's his partner in this movie. Anyway, Matt Dillon's character works as a guidance counselor at a high school. And I'm just basically gonna gloss over kind of like the main points of the film. But guidance counselor Denise Richards eventually accuses him of being just inappropriate with her, and basically kind of trashes his career. He then hires a lawyer. One of my favorite parts of this movie, and a lot of people forget that he's in this, is Bill Murray's role as Ken Bowden, who's kind of just like this, like scumbag sleazeball lawyer. amazing performance by Bill Murray in this, and a lot of people forget that he's in this movie. And one of my favorite things when playing the Six Degrees of Kevin Bacon game is somehow you get to Bill Murray and then you go right into Wild Things, and people are like, "What? Bill Murray's not in that movie?" And people are like, "No, no, he's in it." I remember playing this in a restaurant kitchen once and bringing that movie up, being like, it was like I got to Sigourney Weaver, and then you do Sigourney Weaver to Bill Murray and Ghostbusters, and then you Bill Murray and Wild Things with Kevin Bacon. And I remember people saying, "Oh no, he's not in that." And then one of my friends that worked in the kitchen as well, like walks out of like the walk-in cooler and was like, "Oh no, Bill Murray's totally in that movie." So hires Bill Murray as his lawyer, and then eventually and then I believe then Nev Campbell also goes and says that Matt Dillon's character was also inappropriate of her, and he gets arrested and is in jail. And then there's this trial where they're basically he's on trial for being inappropriate with these two high school students, and then it's revealed by Nev Campbell's character that they are lying about the entire thing, and that it was just like one of them wanted like revenge on him for not being there for when they were in jail. That was Nev Campbell's character, and Denise Richards is like apparently like in love with his character as well. And the thing about this is like the plot. There's like so many double and triple crosses in this movie. You don't really see them coming. That's one of the things I just absolutely love is that the mystery around it is very good. Like a lot of like the main selling point of this movie when it came out was that you have a scene between Nev Campbell and Denise Richards. So that was like a huge selling point to that. But once you get past that or even to it, there is just an actual really good movie underneath it. It's just the acting is really well done. The cinematography is awesome. It looks like the like shots of like various like the swampland and the sunsets are all like really well shot and really well done. That's why I do want to eventually somehow get the 4K version in a way to watch it because I guess it's been restored from the original film negatives of the movie. But again, it's eventually revealed that they were lying, and then it's eventually they then get a huge settlement from Denise Richards' character's mother in this movie, played by Teresa Russell, and then he basically leaves the school because like I don't think he got fired in the movie. I don't think, but it was basically like even if he even mentions to his coworker, he's like, even if I wanted to come back, I couldn't. And he basically is staying at this like kind of like sleazy hotel. Denise Richards rolls up on him and looks like she's about to shoot him, but then it's revealed that they were all working together to get. I think Sandra Van Ryan is Denise Richards' character's mom in the movie to get a bunch of money, like $8 million or something like that. And then it's revealed that that Nev Campbell's character is in on it as well. Kevin Bacon's character starts getting suspicious of what's going on and eventually like starts to kind of like piece together that like this was like all planned out. This is like what's going on. We like they're slowly him and his partner are slowly kind of like coming to the realization that this was all set up. So we're at the point now, and then basically it goes down to then Kevin Bacon's character convinces Denise Richards' character, not Denise Richards, Nev Campbell's character that like they're gonna try to get rid of you, like they want to run off together, like this is Denise Richards and Matt Dillon's character, and then it's revealed. Then basically we have Matt Dillon's character kills Nev Campbell's character, and they do a whole investigation into that. At that point, I believe Matt Dillon is kind of left at this point, and he's now he's kind of out of the picture. Kevin Bacon goes to Denise Richards' house with the intention of protecting her from like Matt Dillon or Nev Campbell or whoever, and she ends up getting shot, or Nev Campbell or Denise Richards ends up getting shot, and then it's revealed after that Kevin Bacon is also in on it with Matt Dillon's character, and then they're working together, and then at the end of the film, it's revealed that Nev Campbell's character is actually still alive. She then kills Kevin Bacon's character and Matt Dillon's character and makes off with all the money. That's the basic plot of the movie. Basic being it's fairly convoluted in like a really cool way though. I'm going to And that's kind of just the theatrical version of the movie. I'm going to bring up this thing here. I'm going to just look over the changes that are made to the director's cut. It's only about 7 minutes longer, but in the beginning of the movie, there's a high school assembly about these that Kevin Bacon and his partner are at with Matt Dillon's character. They're these seminars are doing. In the theatrical cut, the seminar ends and it goes right to the cheerleading segment. In the director's cut, it goes to Matt Dillon's character is talking to Kevin Bacon's character and Daphne Rubin's Vegas character about because in that assembly, Susie, Nev Campbell's character, just walks out. She's like, "I'm out of here." It's like, "See ya." And you see her later in like the scene after, and it's revealed that Kevin Bacon's character earlier before the film started had arrested her for drug possession, and then she got sent up to jail for like 6 months. So that, and then also the Kevin Bacon's partner, I believe is it Gloria? I forget. Like I don't remember the name of her character, but Kevin Bacon's character is Ray Duquette, and he was basically telling his partner that he doesn't like the Matt Dillon's character. He doesn't like Sam Lombardo. He thinks that he could just like totally see through his act. And then it goes into the rest of the film. And then the next scene in the director's cut, I believe, is a really excellent scene. It should have been left in the movie between Robert Wagner and Bill Murray. Robert Wagner is Sam Lombardo's lawyer, Matt Dillon's lawyer, and we then have Robert Wagner. Really good performance from Robert Wagner as well. And they're having lunch at this really just run-down looking restaurant. Doesn't look like a restaurant that you would want to go to. And basically, like Tom Baxter, who is the character played by Robert Wagner, is asking Ken Bowden. He's like, what do you want? Like he's like, well, we want your client to saddle up so we can ride her right to the bank. That's Sandra Van Ryan. So we're having this conversation at this restaurant. Like I said, really run down, not great looking restaurant. And then it goes into the scene after that is when they're signing the paperwork to get all that money. That is a really good scene that was left out. I guess the pool scene between Nev Campbell and Denise Richards is actually extended in this version. It's a little bit longer. The next scene after that is after Susie Toller gets murdered by Sam Lombardo. There's a scene where Kevin Bacon goes up to Kelly Van Ryan's house, and Kelly Van Ryan is washing a Jeep, and he's kind of suspicious of why she's washing that car. They have a brief interaction where she sprays him with a hose, and he basically just like, that's basically the scene. That one doesn't add a whole lot to the movie, but that's another scene. And then the most pivotal scene in the director's cut is at the end of the movie. We have Carrie Snodgrass, who is basically Susie Toller's kind of like adoptive grandmother in a way, is telling Kevin Bacon's partner about Susie's actual like biological parents, who is the father of Sandra Van Ryan's character. So basically, Sandra Van Ryan, who's played by Teresa Russell, and Nev Campbell are technically half sisters, and then so that makes Denise Richards' character Susie's half niece, and so it's kind of like it does add a lot to it because basically Kelly Van Ryan grows up rich, Susie grows up pretty much poor, so it gives Nev Campbell's character a better motivation for doing what she does and kind of orchestrating this whole thing. And then the end credits, where like if you're watching the end credits, kind of explain how stuff happened and how stuff came to be. That there is some more scenes added in there to make the film make a little bit more sense. I think a lot of that got cut because probably the MPAA probably wasn't too cool on them having like the relationship between Susie and Kelly becomes incestuous at that point, because then basically it's an aunt niece relationship, which is just weird. But I think it works better for the overall story and the overall kind of motivations, especially for Nev Campbell's character. All right, that is basically the plot and the differences in the director's cut. Let's see, we talk about Bill Murray. Talk a little bit about the soundtrack now. The soundtrack to this movie, the score at least, is amazing. It's by George S. Clinton. I bought the CD, I want to say, like back in like 2009 or something. Unfortunately, there are a lot of songs in the movie that are not on the soundtrack itself. Like it's like kind of like probably like a licensing thing or whatever, but there's a lot of really good songs in this soundtrack that are played like between scenes or they're being played in the background like on like radios and stuff like that that just aren't part of the soundtrack. So I remember years ago going through the movie and just like or like using like Google and figuring out like what songs were in this movie that weren't on the soundtrack, using like things like Shazam to try to like match the music and stuff like that. So I'm going to go through the soundtrack really quickly here. So the score is by George S. Clinton, like I mentioned earlier. He did the main title. He did Gator Tango. Morphine is also on the soundtrack, and they had a song called "I Had My Chance." That song plays when Kevin Bacon goes up to a pool that Denise Richards is swimming in to try to like get some information from her or try to like put ideas. Basically letting her know that he knows what's going on. The next song we have is "Outside." That's another George S. Clinton song. We have "Lizard Road," "Gremlin," "After Tonight." DFMO is another song. And there's I think it's called "Dom Perry at Donald" is another track. And this is all in the score, so this is all kind of instrumental music. It's all kind of very much like a little bit like jazz inspired and also kind of uh, noir inspired because the movie is basically just like an erotic thriller noir film. Next up, we have Dead Kelly, Good Shooting. Murder for the Money is a song played by Morphine toward the end, and then there is the end credits. And the custom soundtrack that I built, these are songs that are like I said, playing in the background and stuff like that. There's no particular order that these are in. I think these are just in alphabetical order. But we have Barry White, "Can't Get Enough of Your Love, Baby." There's Danny O'Keefe, which is "Good Time Charlie's Got the Blues." Iggy Pop did "Louie Louie." There's Johnny Rivers, "The Poor Side of Town." Kay's Choice, "Not an Addict." That song is playing when Kevin Bacon and his partner go up to Susie's trailer, and that song's playing on the radio. There's Laura and Christy, "I Want What I Want," which is played during the car wash scene between Denise Richards and her friend when they're washing Matt Dillon's car, or his Jeep, I mean. Morphine, "I Had My Chance," I put that on there as well. And then there's also "Murder for the Money" by Morphine. There's Rat Bat Blue, which is "The Good Life," which is played in a car when Kelly and Susie are driving around. There's Smash Mouth, "Why Can't We Be Friends?" Sugar Ray, "Hold Your Eyes." Sweet Emily, "Someday," which is the song that plays kind of at the end when Bill Murray's character kind of reemerges and gives Susie's character just a bunch of money, letting her know like how everything is like worked out and all that. There's the Joe Cuba Sextet with "Bailadores." That might be the song that plays up when he rolls up to Ken Boda's office. There's the Miracles with "Love Machine." Third Eye Blind, "Semi-Charmed Life." I think that was the first time I'd heard that song, and like I've liked the song ever since. There's Tito Puente and his Latin Jazz Ensemble, which is "Salsa Caliente," and then "Transistor-I Saw Red." So that was kind of like a custom soundtrack that I put together based off of like what I could find online and like what I was able to like like Shazam off of like my phone and stuff like that. Let's see, Kevin Bacon. Oh, one really funny thing about this movie is it's pretty well known, but there's a full frontal nudity scene with Kevin Bacon. He steps out of a shower toward the end of the movie, and apparently Kevin Bacon, I think it's probably like in his contract that says he has a no nudity clause in his contract. I don't know if that was necessarily for this movie or just a general contract that he has for like various films he's working on. And he kind of was doing an interview and kind of made a joke about it, saying, well, he had this clause in his contract, and if he wanted to take legal action for that clause being violated, he would technically have to sue himself because he's one of the producers of this movie, or he's one of the executive producers. So just a little funny tidbit there. And let me see. Yeah, we said there. Yeah, great cinematography. The acting is solid in the movie. It's basically it's better than it has any right to be. Um, like I said, I owned it 3 times. I got like basically the theatrical DVD, the director's cut DVD, and the director's cut Blu-ray. I'm looking at potentially getting this 4K like version at some point as well. But I just absolutely adore this movie. It's one of my favorites. It's just a very well made erotic thriller. Like they go kind of like they take it and they kind of elevate the genre by how good the movie is. Um, so that again, I've been looking forward to doing this one ever since I announced this series. This is just an amazing film. Um, Definitely check it out. It's it's awesome. I believe it is on streaming. It's on Paramount Plus, I believe. But you have to have the Showtime kind of like add on to it. I don't know where else you can watch it. I think it's available on like Prime Video, but I think it's like $12 or something to buy it. And I don't know what version of the movie you're getting. If you're getting I imagine you're getting the theatrical version, but who knows? Anyway, that's gonna do it for Wild Things. Definitely check it out. I had a blast talking about this movie. I always have a blast watching it. That's gonna do it for this episode. Until next time, thanks again for watching. Take care and have a good one.